Alright, motherfuckers. Freddy's been gone, but I'm back, baby. I am ready to throw down the final issue of this nearly 1 year long run. We are now at issue number 6 of this bad boy, and I think it's time to dive into this head first. Head first with my butt out. Ah shit, here we go. One last time. Hey DJ, spin that shit. So we open up on a beautiful layout of two faces split up into 6 panels. Last issue, we ended on a Batman and Two-Face confrontation as Harv was having a bit of a breakdown. Now Harvey has maintained his cool composure as Batman asks how many of him there are. Harvey says there's billions within all of the timelines of the multiverse, but here, right now, probably just 2. He admits that both his personalities are like an old married couple, but they have learned to coexist with one another. Gotta do it for the kids, man. Harvey continues spilling out some deep shit about good and evil, trying to justify his actions a little bit, and then Batsy interrupts like he's had enough of his evil monologues, saying that it's over and he wants to help him. Of course he declines the gentleman's offer and holds up his briefcase of power while looking like the head thwomp boss from Oracle of Ages. That was actually a really good game. Fucking love that shit. He continues to say that none of this would have happened if Batman didn't break up the heist, further pushing the narrative that Batman is the cause of most bad things going on within the charming town of Gotham. Harvey D makes a getaway as he gets his leg wrapped up. Two-Face grabs his trusty detonator and brooms the entire place. We cut over to the other dynamic duo, Catwoman and Robin, as they make way towards the loud kaboom as it starts raining money. My favorite kind of rain. Two-Face slowly catches on to the fact that Batsy called him Harvey and pieces together Batman's identity as his mask is perfectly split down the middle. Much like Two-Face's Two Faces, but Bat Keaton is a lot better looking. Harvey begs to differ on that, calling him ugly. You know, it's always the ones who call other people ugly who are truly the ugly ones. Harves tries to dig out his camera to take some pictures of Batman's half-split face as the pair of mismatched misfits catch up to the scene. Harvey hides and ends up finding out that Robin is indeed Burnside's own Drake Winston. 2 birds with 1 stone, quite literally, as he finds out Batman and Robin's identities within the same charred breath, as I assume Harvey's lungs are charred as fuck, and his breath be smelling like roadkill. How is this man alive? But that's besides the point. Drake and Selina roll Bruce back to the manor to get him fixed up as they share some words and have a discuss on how Harvey is any different from the 3 of them. And Selina says that he is indeed crazier. I mean, that's kind of a given, and also he gets better results since he was spreading money to the good people of Burnside who truly did need it. Harvey, the half-charred hero, White Knight on one side, Banished Knight on the other. As they get to the cave, Catwoman freaks out for a sec since it's her first time down there, and they deliver Bruce on over to Dr. Alfred as he immediately asks with no hesitation if she will take her cat back. Definitely not a cat guy. We get a really mesmerizingly sick panel of Catwoman sitting there petting her cat in Bruce's chair as he is coming back to in a daze. She jokingly says that he died and went to heaven. I mean, looking at that, yeah. Then Bruce says that hell is worse since he has no painkillers. Selina informs him on the damage that's been done, and with no painkillers with that, Jesus Bruce asks what was inside the briefcase, and then Selina the Wise spills the tea on how the Lincoln Savings heist was all a massive plan executed by Lincoln Savings and Loan to cover up their tracks for funding some mobs. Just a bunch of shady shit. They needed to get rid of the paperwork, which is proving all of this, and she lets him know that he actually had a hand in helping since after he intervened, the paperwork got confiscated for Harvey to slide in like a slimy and slippery snake to snag them back.
I'm so slithery and sneaky because I'm a snake.
She continues to say that as long as Harvey has his trusty briefcase, he owns literally everybody in the city, even Bruce Wayne himself. And it really doesn't help that Two-Face saw his face in the tunnel. That little stinker. Selina reminisces on how him and her could have run the city together, just the two of them, the bat and the cat, as she says she's been thinking about the both of them for months. Bruce comes in saying how he thought of her every day, then she counters back on how an entire year went by, as he didn't know if she was even alive nor dead, calling back to the end of Batman Returns. Bruce comes in smooth as ever, saying that how he actually did look, figured that she might have been dead, but then realized if he didn't know for sure, that there was that 50-50 chance that she was still alive. That's when he stopped looking, and that's when she came back. Damn, dude. That's some true shit. Things always come back when you stop looking for it. He then continues to ask if she ever wants to be normal, with that look on her face like she's about to cave into him. And in all fairness, same though. My boy Bruce has a way with words sometimes. You can tell she wants some of that bat to put inside of her cat so they can and proceed to ride into the but it is now confirmed that Jim Gordon is now dead. Killing off a legacy character is always a bold and wise move. Apparently nobody realized that the motherfucking commissioner was missing. Come on, throw some respect on this man's. Bruce insists on calling Barbara as Catwoman is standing there daydreaming heavily about that as she lays down a swift yet vicious right on top of his as he calls out Barbs and gets on his lying bullshit, but also sends his regards at the same time. Like I said, he has a way with words sometimes. We cut over to Cruella the Dent as he is insisting on clearing his name by enforcing his crusty face dominance over the blood-sucking ticks in the room. Bruh. This man's though. Harvey states that from now on, Gotham's money now goes to Gotham and funnels into nobody else's pockets. I mean, this burnt asshole has a point. Who's truly the bad guy here since he's in a room of greedy mobsters? He says that if anything happens to him, he's going to expose everybody's shady doings. Air everybody's stinky ass laundry. Carmine Falcone enters the chat, and as Carmine would, he goes on to state that he's the one making the city run, and also states that his lawyers are smarter than him. So yeah, good luck, pal. Harvey D takes no shit and shoots him between the eyes. Bold move to have Carmine in like one panel and then kill him off. Two-Face is out for blood, and I'm all for it. I think he really is the blood-sucking tick here. Next panel shows Harv sneaking into Otis' shop, inquiring if he has gotten the money that he sent him. Otis asks where the fuck he got the money from, and since Harvey knows Batman's identity, he uses it to his advantage by stating it came from the Bruce Wayne Foundation, aka the Foundation of the Dead Parents. Otis states how nobody in Burnside really cared where the money came from that they got given to them since they all needed it so bad, and Harvey states that the money was stolen from the people and it needed to get back. Aw shit, I mean the man continues to have a point. The white knight the people deserve. And then he says that he is goddamn Robin Hood. Pretty on the nose since he is literally inside Robin's roost. Otis starts busting out the real hard facts about how the people that were marching for him fired on a crowd of people, slowly peeling back Harvey's real side from his deception. As Harvey says, it was necessary. Otis states how he thought Dent was for the people, and states how he's just old and naive since Harvey, nah, he ain't that. Harv spits hard bars on how his skin burns, it festers, and it reeks. It hurts to talk, hurts to smile, and hurts to breathe. Then Otis spits harder bars on how Harvey was the most handsome man in Burnside. Girls used to swoon over the lady killer he was. I mean, he's a lady killer now, but in totally different context. And that his face could have carried him anywhere. He says that there's an old joke about time. Sooner or later, you get the face that you deserve. As he picks up the phone to make a call, Harvey gets into a little internal argument between selves in a little heart-wrenching moment since this good side really wants to shine through, but the evil side, the banished knight, prevails as he shoots Otis as Drake is walking in. Fuck. Every good thing I previously said about Harvey, I take it back. No one hurts Otis. Drake is like, what the fuck, man? Then Harvey is like, nah, bro, take this money. You saved my life that one time. And then states that he knows that he's Batman's sidekick. Drake takes no shit, as one would, and drops a hard bar on how when he's done with him, the ugly side will be the pretty side. Oh, fuck. Oh, man. That's some good shit. Harvey goes into full-on bitch mode by running out, playing the victim, getting Drake put on blast by getting him framed for Otis's death. That fucking rat bastard, man. I bet you snakes don't even love this guy. We cut over to the Batcave where Brucey be hurting as he is figuring out that slime bag Dance is out on a murder spree. Alfred says that he may not be finished his murderous rampage as he called the manor, saying that he'll be there in 20 minutes. Bruce gets up for the challenge. That slippery sus snake slithers into the Batcave, saying how Bruce looks like hell. Has this guy looked in the mirror lately? He shouldn't be commenting on anyone's appearances here. Harvey pretty much says that he's gonna fuck up his pristine cave, then Bruce asks for the magic coin. He gives it a toss over to our broken billionaire. Cruella says that Drake has been put into a holding cell, or in better terms, the bird's in the cage, and he is being framed for shooting Otis. Harvey pulls out the photo he took in the tunnels and says that he might join Drake in the birdcage if he doesn't cooperate a little bit more. Bruce, as confident as ever in this slippery and slimy situation, says that he'll never be his torpedo and says that he will come after him. Bruce spins the story and dives into the multiverse for a sec, since this is literally the biggest fucking plot point of any goddamn comic book piece of media right now, and spins a story on the good side of the coin, where they cooperate together, taking down all the dirty tricksters in the city. His face gets unfucked, Batman rounds up the baddies, Harvey gets put onto a good path, Bruce retires, and every dime that he has is now Harvey's by cleaning up the city the right way, the noble way, the Jim Gordon way. Two-Face stubbornly says that he's gone too far and can't turn back from his shattered psyche. Bruce tosses him the coin, not suspiciously at all, and then says to let his trusty old pal decide his fate. As things are looking too good to be true, Selina cuts the cable, holding the massive penny up in the cave, sending it crashing down, knocking Two-Face over the edge of the cliff. Damn, the irony. Taken out by a goddamn coin. Kind of beautiful, kind of poetic. Yeah. Harvey calls for help as Bruce demands Selina to grab a cable to help hoist our slippery boy back up the safe ground. As if she's gonna listen to anyone, considering she's the one who put him in this situation. Harvey says his goodbyes as Bruce lends a helping hand, but can't quite pull him up due to his injuries. Bruce now has a cable in his hand with a hook on the end as he tosses it down to Harvey, but to his luck, gets the hook right through the hand. As Bruce says that he's coming down to help him up, Harvey is having some visions on how they won. He can see everything vividly. It's beautiful. They're both old men, good friends, and they've both made a difference together. Everyone's lives are thriving. Even Barbara forgives him. Gotham is now 1 instead of 2. How all their hard work was worth it. They can now retire. They can now finally let go. As the wire snaps, plunging Two-Face to his dark demise. Fuck, that was emotional. Goddamn. Well done. Bruce fucking loses it on Catwoman for doing what she did, sabotaging Bruce's entire plan, since he actually rigged the coin when he took it from Harvey, giving him a clean 2-headed coin, making him ultimately win that coin toss. Bruce was convinced that he could have saved Harvey, Selina as well, as she calls him out for his messiah complex, saying that he is way too far gone to be saved. I honestly agree. Bruce comes to the realization that him and Catwoman, they are not the same, as much as he really hoped that they were, since he is not a killer, yet if we're being real, his actions do kill people indirectly, and also everyone he killed in Batman 89 and Batman Returns, but that's neither here nor there. Anyways, Catwoman snaps and spits more bars on how, yeah, they are not the same. He's just a poor little rich boy. I mean, poor little rich boy, that's kind of a He's just a poor little rich boy who had everything given to him, and if he ever led a regular life, Batman would have never existed. She goes on to state how she's been going after those stolen documents for a hot minute now, but thought saving his life is more important and that she should have just teamed up with Harvey D instead. She picks up Harvey's coin, and I guess Brucey did an oopsie and accidentally slipped him the wrong coin.
Whoops. Whoopsie.
Miss Kyle says her goodbyes to Bruce and says that he can keep the cat's collar. She's taken the cat back. Alfred cheers in the distance. Bruce finds out that the collar has been mic'd all along, and she's been lurking in on everything for months. You know, I don't know how the world's greatest detective glossed over that. Blinded by the cat, I guess. We cut over to Drake pulling up as he is now released from the bird cage, thanking Bruce for getting him out by proving that Harvey was the bad guy all along, by dropping off Dent's gun somewhere and calling in an anonymous tip. They step foot into the garage as Bruce gives Drake a sick new set of wheels, the hologram Batcycle. The hologram Batcycle. Bruce gets soft and is like, anything you want, I can give you it all. Then Drake's like, yeah, bud, about that. The little girl from issue 1, second last page, panel 2. Yeah, you remember that, Bruce? I bet you do. $10 million trust fund.
But wait! There's more!
He insists that now that she is an orphan, that his sister adopts her, gives her a normal and loving life, and lets her get the money over time. Bruce agrees. They shake hands and make that wholesome deal. Bruce asks what he can call him these days. Drake goes off that since Bruce is a bat guy and Drake is a bird guy, oh my god, here we go. This is where he says he'll be named Robin. He says to call him the Avenging Eagle. But says that the name is still in the works and he will inform him on the finalized one. Yeah, because that needs some hard work. Sorry, Drake, but that is weak. Robin rips off on his new ride, and this is the last we see of the dynamic duo together. We cut over to Barb's for the first time this issue. She is receiving Harvey's powerful briefcase in the mail. Inside the briefcase, along with all the evidence, is a note that states that all that is enclosed was everything that Harvey was working on, with the picture of Bat Keaton inside. Harvey was right. If he died before Bruce did, the Batman would be getting doxxed. It further says that the case will wreck all the criminals in the city, and that the person who's writing this, shown to be Catwoman, will be delighted to help her, and that she'll be her friend, her guide, and her oracle. That was absolutely fucking cringe, but okay, go off, Selina. She says that if they worked... I'm sorry, I can't get over that. She says that if they work together, then the world will be a different place. Yeah, I'm sure it will. We cut to the last page of the issue. Bruce is dreaming about the future of what could have been a perfect time. Him and Selina, together with a family in the manor. Selina brings the kids up for bath time and she's about to put them to bed. I love how in his perfect future, he names his son Bruce Jr., like he isn't the poster child for everything good and perfect. I mean, it's better than fucking Damien, the devil child. They also have Naisha as an adopted daughter, but in this timeline, this is the one where Bruce lived a normal life, where his parents didn't die, and where he did get the girl who isn't fucked up and too far gone like he is, where they really are two sides of the same polished coin, a perfect reality. His parents knock on the door, and before he can open it, Alfred snaps him out of his dream to realize that yes, he is stuck inside this timeline where he is emotionally fucked, where the girl of his dreams is only in his dreams at this point, and proceeds to accept his fate on being forever alone, and most likely dying a virgin. Alfred asks if he's going out tonight, then says he hasn't decided yet as he needs to give his coin a flip, paying homage to the late and not so great Harvey Dent. Any money says that he's flipping that two-headed coin so that he can pull this shit every single night, to use this as his foolproof excuse to always leave the house with the cape on, since that is all he knows and will only know. Shit. We're done. That was excellent. What a ride this entire series has been. Man, I've been covering this entire thing for the last 10 months, and I gotta admit, it's a little surreal now that I have officially finished the final chapter in this little saga. Going into it, I never would have expected it to go as it did. I thought it might have followed Tim Burton's sequel plans pretty closely, but something new definitely came instead. This is the story of Two-Face's downfall and Robin's rising. I really enjoyed both of these characters, and the dynamics shared between Drake and Bruce were excellent and felt really fresh. Drake definitely was a good mesh of all the other Robins, just nicely packed into one. I also really enjoyed having more Selina in here, as in Batman Returns, their relationship was always my favorite part. It was always something that I rooted for and shipped quite a bit, since in theory, they're kind of perfect for each other, but in reality are way too damaged and way too far gone to even make it work. I know in a different universe they are meant to be, as they do make the effort to show us a glimpse into what could have been, but in this one, they will most likely both die alone, because we know Bruce never gets the girl. Except, in the Snyderverse. I gotta admit, covering this series has been an absolute blast for me, and I'm happy I committed to getting each issue out for you guys. I am definitely gonna miss wondering where this story is headed. Who knows, maybe they will continue it, but I really hope not. This was a perfect little mini-series that left on an open end, which really makes you wonder what could come next, since Batman's identity has now been leaked. But not every question needs to be answered, and I love how this is all up to the imagination now. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up this video now. Honestly, I'm really gonna miss Bat Keaton and all its adventures, seeing Harvey's downfall, Robin's rising, and also, Catwoman. But yeah, my name is Freddy Savage, bringing you Batman 89, the final issue, and also issues 1 through 6. Hope you enjoyed this. I'll catch you next time.